Get out there and have fun. Because you've got Meguiar's. And we've got your back. From wash, to paint care, to maintenance and more, Meguiar's has your hybrid ceramic solution for every adventure. Meguiar's, reflect your passion.
This is where champions are made. Born from Formula Drift. Engineered for your daily drive. Where Kenda's Vesda UHP Max Plus proves it's not just track ready. It's street dominant. This is podium to pavement. Vesda UHP Max Plus, only from Kenda. Find yours today at kendatire.com.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
This is Formula Drift, what we call the Throwdown, the battle in Seattle. Are you with me? 1, 2, 3!
The big bank is gnarly. You're doing 80 miles an hour the whole way around, and then finishing it off right next to that last wall, I feel like it's iconic, and the fans get to stand right there and get blasted with tire smoke.
Unleash the Kraken. Simon Olsen in tow. Look at him. Look at good execution, good proximity. What an amazing initiation! Oh, shocker, look at that! Turk advances to the finals. LZ and Manoa, the crowd erupts here in Seattle. Hiro Manoa is out. The wind comes out of the sails of the 14-year-old. And here is Ryan Turk on a celebratory win run. What a run, makes some noise, Seattle. Ryan Turk gets the win on Nitto Tires. Welcome out to a beautiful Evergreen Speedway just outside of Seattle. It's in Monroe, Washington. Love this place. And happy anniversary to the Formula Drift fans of the PNW. 20 years. Oh, my back hurts just saying that. But we are about to throw down in the town, the battle in Seattle, round 6 of 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. It's Casual Friday, but casual by no means, because there are some drivers fighting to get their spot. This is seeding brackets Friday. Tomorrow is game day. Find out who wins. Will it be a repeat of Ryan Turk? He's had an up and down season, but obviously him and this track work well together. Manoa was on the box last year. Adam LZ, as we saw that celebration right before the opening of this show. Joining me here by my side is Jacob Gettens, host of the Formula Drift official podcast, the Outer Zone podcast. I'm Jared Deanna, so thank you so much for joining us out here. We're about to send it, and my big old head barely fitting in the frame right there.
Get you in there.
But thank you so much for joining us out here. Jacob, 5 previous amazing rounds.
Yeah.
What's crazy is we anticipate, obviously, like a great Atlanta round. When we go to a place like Orlando or St. Louis, we're kind of like, ooh, the elements. It's hot. It's humid, but then we had such a fantastic Orlando, St. Louis. We've had some really dynamic and fun and exciting and interesting events.
Yeah, it's been wild since the season started.
Yep.
And with the points race right now and everything else going on, it's only going to continue to get even more wild. And the weather, everything's cooperating here. The track is nuts. The layout's been great. Man, what a season it's been.
Just talking James Dean, our most recent winner there in St. Louis. He's just over here at the spotters area right below our announcers tower. But let's take a look back. The season kicked off round 1, the streets of Long Beach. The Rockstar Energy Drink Pilot kicks off. He says, yeah, the soup's pretty good. The minestrone, have you tried it? Yeah, it's real good. The soup in Long Beach, more like clam chowder over there, and figured that he is Norwegian. Then we moved on to round 2, Atlanta, the birthplace, the womb of Formula Drift, where we saw James Dean back to his championship form. Keep in mind, he's the only 4-time champion and defending FD champion.
Yeah, it's been wild, and now Frederick Osbo's got to battle things back to match him with that, but so many drivers have got to go through and take a look at this. What an incredible night in Orlando with Manoa just absolutely throwing down from beginning to end. That fire everything about his driving was incredible, and ultimately taking home the win there in Florida.
Jonathan Castro almost getting his first, not only his first podium, he got second place, but his first ever win as well. But second place, he'll take that. Take it to the bank, he did. And speaking of a track working well with the driver, Adam LZ, we saw him get his first ever win behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang. Now, he is so proud of him and his team, the Drift HQ, campaigning that vehicle, getting the win, and then here we are just most recently, St. Louis, an all-Irish battle. Jack Shanahan did what we know he can do. By no means a rookie in drifting, but a rookie to Formula Drift Pro driving, and there he is getting his first ever podium. Congratulations to Jack Shanahan. It was a 1 and 2 for Ireland. As we take a look at our driver championship standings, and you can see, talking most recently about Adam LZ, there he is sitting in third, but you see 60 points behind. The point structure, how it breaks out, we'll get to that in just a little bit, but Hiroya Manoa sitting fourth, Matt Field in fifth, a true championship contender, and Matt Field sneakily just hanging out in the shadows.
Yeah, and I mean, the points race is super tight with the new structure that we've got now. Odi Bakshi sitting in sixth, Castro seventh, but not far off that top five. Jack Shanahan making a massive jump all the way into eighth, Dylan Hughes in ninth, and Forsberg tied with him down in 10th, so pretty tight through those battles there. And then as we get into our final five of the top 15, Brandon Sorensen creeping his way back up, Rome Charpentier below him, Connor O'Sullivan really pushing that rookie of the year. And we can take a look through the rest of these drivers, some big drivers a little further down.
A lot of these drivers not gaining points in St. Louis, getting knocked out and are, kind of just not advancing on. Tommy Lemaire, we saw him do really well in Prospect, making the jump over here to Pro. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. But, FD Seattle is a true representation of seeding. 16 locked, 16 seeded. Odi, Gucci, Castro, and others will be early outs in St. Louis and a chance to make up points. That's what really needs to go down here. So this is our seeding bracket. So all the drivers you see here are in the building because previous rounds we did have a bye run, in St. Louis because we didn't have all the drivers there. We do have them here. So that's definitely going to be exciting for us.
Yeah, and everybody's locked in. They're going to make the show. You're going to see them. What this is about now is picking up points and getting good positioning and figuring out who you're going to end up battling tomorrow. So this to me is going to be one of the best seeding brackets we've seen, period.
Yep, and there it is. So there are those drivers that didn't gain any points in St. Louis. Odi Bakshi, Castro, Brandon Sorensen, Ken Gucci. They didn't advance.
Yeah.
Now some of those drivers are in the seeding brackets. They need to earn their spot. And Jacob, break it down because every win tomorrow, 10 points as you advance on. You need to compete. If you advance on, you get 10 points. But here in seeding brackets, you still gain points, but it's a little lesser.
Yeah, just picking up 3 as you get through these battles, but we've already seen how that plays in. Look at how Jack Shanahan's weekend went back in St. Louis and how that has added up and really pushed him so far up the ranks really quickly. So for any of the drivers that are tied right now, these battles are incredibly massive as we run through all of seeding. So I'm super pumped for this. I'm incredibly excited to see how this all lays out, but you can
place your bets.
You can be very excited too.
Yeah, I mean, you're already watching it. Why not? $20 bet pays $34.39, and we are hearing that Ken Gucci is calling a competition timeout. Yeah. If you're betting, go ahead and place those bets because, again, that could pay out. The odds are constantly changing, and we are here again. Ken Gucci is calling a competition timeout down to the wire. A lot of practice. I mean, we're up here in the booths saying, look, everybody's used their 12 practice laps. We have had to, over the years, minimize the amount of laps to make sure that everybody gets equal or lesser than, they're maxed out at the amount, so nobody's just burning and turning if somebody has a bigger and larger tire allotment. So we want to ensure that everybody has the same amount of practice. So we will revisit the Ken Gucci, what was to be Gucci and Simon Olsen. We'll go back to that, but right now you can see Austin Mata, and happy birthday to Jonathan Hurst, the Cash Racing Mr. Cool. If you're feeling cool, Froggy, and want to get some cool cash, go and scan that QR code and place your bets here for Formula Drift. All right, so as Big Ed carrying the TV up the stairs, what a weapon of mass destruction, dude. Look at this guy. I don't know if he actually paid for that TV or he just stole it from somebody, but one of our staff members, got to give Ed a shout out, hardworking cats. All right, so here we go again. Happy birthday boy, Jonathan Hurst there on the left, and then Austin Mata taking a look at the cars, not so much right now, but the flip-flops as far as the header cards. But the pride of Paducah and Minnesota's own Austin Mata. I'm really surprised. They have never done battle before since 2020, 5 years?
Well, I mean, definitely not in Pro. Maybe I'd have to really go back in the history book. Maybe back, it would have been Pro 2 back then.
Yeah, that's right.
It is possible, but at least here in Pro, never battled. So there's some, there'll be some bragging rights here. Both these drivers, a little outspoken. They like to be boisterous. So there'll be some smack talk before and after this battle.
Absolutely. Here we go. Austin Mata, Jonathan Hurst. Looks like Austin will lead and Hurst will give chase here in our seating of 16. Thank you to the Evergreen Speedway staff. Always great to us. And this place will be packed out, rip-roaring, and ready to go tomorrow. And looks like we are going to get cleared to send in just a moment. All right, here we go. Austin Mata, Jonathan Hurst, Ricky Lee Gasser. We are looking for you, so head on up to the announcer's booth. Here we go. Austin Mata. He is going to lead, initiate into that first bank. There's Jonathan Hurst. Austin initiates. You can see some wavering there, but does find that sweet spot eventually. Hurst, you can see just how fast this bank is. Now going into what was previously called the Power Alley, we're calling it the Power Boulevard because that thing has been wider, thicker than a sticker going into that inside clip. Now into that last outside zone goes Austin Mata. Jonathan Hurst digs on deep. And there we go, Austin Mata brings it on home. So you just see how fast they are when it comes to competition. We've seen tons of practice runs, but this is where, again, it's a game of inches, not just your car and the wall, but in between the ears. Talking about that brain power. Yeah, Austin Mata off the clip here. Looks like he was really struggling to hold the car in form. You see that big left foot brake, that smoke coming from that front tire, and not able to get up to the bank, has some wavering, has a lot of corrections in the front wheels. Hurst does a good job to keep things back. Mata not fulfilling that second outside zone completely and missing a lot of the third. And Hurst playing back pretty far throughout this battle, but I think he saw what was going on with Mata through that first outside zone and decided, hey, just going to hold things back. Mata pretty straight to the finish as well. So not sure if everything is 100% on the side of things for Mr. Mata, but for Jonathan Hurst, he's keeping things right and tight. Not overcommitting at any point, but still making sure he's got that chase locked in at some point throughout the entire battle. Almost forcing a mistake, and bear in mind that everybody is locked in for tomorrow's main event. So now I would really challenge the drivers and use this as sparring. Yeah. This is a sparring match, knowing that you could potentially go against, somebody similar or gnarlier or lesser than. So again, this is a sparring match here today, and this is really good live competition because you can get 3 points richer, 6, 9, 12, do the math. Here we go. Keeping it cool, Mr. Cool, 79 degrees on that temperature dial, Fahrenheit we're talking about here. And look how settled Jonathan Hurst is. The car way more settled than Austin was in the lead position. Getting to that outside zone, now transitioning through that power alley. Good adaptation there. Coming now into that inside clip, and now going to transition into that last outside zone. I mean, Jonathan Hurst, you can just see that execution there. Just a little more refined, less twitchy than Austin out front, and I think that's really where the judges are focusing on car placement. They did, again, we'll walk you through the course, but coming off that wall into that power alley, I really like the changes that they made. Yeah, a lot of changes have led to some incredible chases, and for the lead driver, it allows them to be much more flowy throughout the track. But Hurst, not perfect, but much more settled than what we saw with Mata. Does a good job getting through the second outside zone there, and Mata really still all the way through just can't find his groove, even in the chase. So there's going to be a pretty big rethink when they get that car back to the pits on what the setup is like, or maybe the mentality of Austin Mata. But either way, for Hurst, really good run here. Had some contact earlier on in practice, had a couple of runs where he looked like he struggled, but this is one of the better runs we've seen out of him already this weekend, and hopefully this form just continues to improve all the way through the battles, both either if he does move on and into tomorrow. But yeah, Mata just not able to get all the ingredients mixed together. Yeah, and I really love how aggressive Austin is. He's known as a very aggressive driver, a wild driver, but over the years has gained that composure that he needs to have in order to get on the box, and he's right there. But I gotta say, I think Jonathan Hurst might have just that little advantage and that little refinement, and there it is. So Jonathan Hurst, happy birthday. He is 3 points richer, and he advances on into the grade 8. Don't fret, if you're a Mata fan, he's still in top 32, but he's out here in seeding brackets. And for Hurst, these points are huge. It's been an incredibly rough season for him, so just to get a win under his belt, some
momentum going. Yeah, it's massive, and we've seen it. Drivers who do well in seating often do quite well getting in the brackets. Right back to Jack Shanahan. Exactly. So
took the Shanahan out my mouth.
Yep.
All right, well, we are hearing that unfortunately Ken Shiroguchi is out. So Simon Olsen will get a bye run. So the Norwegian pilot on Kenda Tires is going to get the bye run. He will advance on. So it'll be Simon Olsen versus Jonathan Hurst in the Grade 8. So we'll lay out and listen to this Mark V Toyota Supra. Congratulations, Simon Olsen. And hopefully Ken Shiroguchi can get his car back together, and we'll see him back out there getting dialed in as he talked to Cerise earlier today. Good execution there by Simon Olsen. He will have to wait quite a bit here to go against Jonathan Hurst, but he is 3 points richer. So again, the format and the way you do earn points is you have to win or advance on. So bye run is a win. He will advance on. Again, 3 points richer here in seeding brackets. 10 points in the main event.
Yeah, and for Gucci, he had a pretty big oil leak in practice, so hopefully that didn't cause more damage. So let's take a look.
Dude.
This is an interesting battle.
Odie, what are you doing? I mean, again, just a real contender, 2nd overall in the championship, 3rd overall. I mean, this gentleman is in the championship talks every season, and here he is going against Novak. When I saw Novak in the chase position, he was kind of struggling here and there, so I'm wondering, what's going on, what's cooking with him. Novak definitely a fierce competitor. Here he is. He's going to be leading that Field Suspension S vehicle. All right, here we go. Nick Novak initiating. Strong out front is Nick Novak. Baby, don't look back, Nick Novak. Look at that. Again, look at that. The white wheels just standing out. The black wheels. Oh, he does exceed. He goes off course. The power out. Ooh, he was going right for it. So, truth be told, Odie does not need to complete the entirety of this run. This is what I was talking about. Don't know exactly what's going on with Novak. Would love to wrap out. Maybe a spotter can give us some insight, some communique. But earlier I saw him at Chase. He didn't spin once, but he spun twice. So I don't know exactly what's going on. Do you have any info?
No, it's just strange though, because Novak traditionally does quite well on bank tracks. I did see a pretty large correction as he was coming through the first outside zone. And I wonder if you can even watch the smoke kind of disappear. Look at the wavering, big e-brake to get back out, but he's carrying so much momentum at that point, pretty much gone, and thankfully pulls the car away from that the big light stand in the middle of the track, because that would not have been good. But yeah, for Nick Novak, as I said, I mean, he had that perfect event way back in Irwindale a few years ago. He's just traditionally done well on these big bank tracks. So for him to struggle in practice and struggle today and in that battle, that is very out of form for Mr. Novak.
Okay, now we're going to alternate the positions, but Odie will be out front. He's got the clean air, and Nick Novak with the deficit here, going off course into that power alley and shooting off. Definitely an incomplete. Now Odie Bakshis, he just needs to keep the rubber against the road. Novak's going to try to force an error, but I think this is just where, again, treating it like a sparring match. Odie Bakshis doesn't exactly push exhaustively hard up to that outside zone. Now into that 3rd outside zone. See, he even escapes it a little bit, doesn't get all the way out there. That would kind of hurt him if this was, if he didn't have that massive advantage. So Odie Bakshis finishes out the run, but unfortunately for Nick Novak, that major mistake on that first battle, that will be all she wrote for Novak. Odie Bakshis will get the win.
Yeah, and really strange from Odie Bakshis as well, just not getting all the way up to the wall. I don't know if he's just playing things overly safe at this point, but traditionally he is a driver we see completely on the wall all the way through. Look at a bit of contact there from Novak. So I didn't catch that on that first go-around, but this drone view in our airforce.com replay really gives you that true serum and shows you everything that's going on with these cars. So yeah, I didn't catch that, but missing that entire zone, very out of character for Odie Bakshis.
And you could see where the previous outside zones were, watch this, when they come off this bank, look how fast they are just absolutely ripping. Justin Smash, Aaron on the Truth Serum, but you can see where the previous outside zones and the track course was. So some small massages, modifications to the track that I think has a faster and a more natural flow from previous years. I know in the drivers' meeting earlier this morning, Jeff Jones brought up, hey, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And basically, thank you. It's good.
Yeah.
It's got just a more organic flow to it. As far as leaving the outside zone 1, going to the power alley. Later on outside zone 2, you could see that. But let's make it official. Odie Bakshis advances on into the Grade 8. Nice calligraphy pen there. Do you
Thank
know
you.
how to write? Do you know how to write calligraphy?
No, I just thought it would help with my writing, but it has not. It's
they
one of
have
those, you buy the nice tool and hope it does.
Do they have a
work.
lot of calligraphy pens in Canada?
They have tons of them.
Do they?
Yeah, it's big.
I had no idea.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. I'm referencing Jacob's inquisitiveness about birds and the size of birds in Australia.
There's giant birds in Australia.
Big Birds and Dan Burkett and Wataru Masayama. Masayama joining the conversation once again after, unfortunately, Daigo Saito tried to make an attempt to travel to St. Louis, got turned around, couldn't make St. Louis. The car sat. Manoa's dad, Hiroyo's dad, actually got to drive. He was an absolute drifting legend. But right now, talking a little about legends. And Dan Burkett initiating Masayama, the junior race in the Babe livery, has to fall back a little bit. Brad Dan keeps on keeping on in that first outside zone. We're going to have to run that back and take a look at the replay. But Brad Dan fills all that third outside zone, dialing in on the front. Boom, right there. You can see that yellow box. So don't look at the clip. Don't look at the cone. Look at the box on the ground. That cone is for reference. You got to think about sight line, where the drivers are at and where they need to navigate towards. Point the back end and the front end of that vehicle, and that's an indicator. But look at the box on the ground. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, so right off the go, it takes Brad Dan just a bit of a stutter to get that car out, and it does make a big correction, and that, I think, throws off Masayama just a little bit, but he is able to get things regained as they get through that first outside zone. Dan adding a bit more angle coming off the bank. Does a good job through outside zone too, but for Wataru, kind of struggling to really get back into it. He had an amazing time in practice, but now that he's kind of into this battle, a little more pressure on his shoulders, maybe has to work on that just a touch. But I will say that the not amazing initiation from Brad Dan did definitely throw things off a little bit, but that's not going to completely wreck an entire run for a chase driver. Wataru was able to get back into the battle. Does have to cut some zones here to get that proximity back.
Yeah, definitely disrupted, threw a bit of a roadblock for Masayama, but like you said, wasn't absolutely detrimental,
No.
and you can keep on keeping on. So Dan Burkett, we'll take a look at this. I think this is going to be really indicative of who advances on. Masayama has the clean air, jumping across the pond, coming from Japan. We have seen him compete in FD before. He had an S15 previous years, and now comes back behind the wheel of a very capable Jerry Yang Racing prepared vehicle. Now this first outside zone, Masayama sticks to the wall. What's blue and white all over this battle? Everwall blends right in. Masayama massive angle on the first outside zone. Great composure. Now the second outside zone, Dan Burkett bathing in that smoke. Into that third outside zone goes Masayama. Man, looks like he's been driving this vehicle all season. Now transitioning in that last outside zone, uptight, close in front of the fans. Masayama delivers out front.
Well,
yes, sir.
What an opportunity for him, too. Taking that bit of time off, getting that call from Jerry Yang going, hey, we got a seat for you. Would you like to jump in? Really prove yourself. This is massive. So if Wataru can take this opportunity, use every single bit of it, this could be huge for him and his career moving forward. But right off the bat, right to the wall, all the way through, Brad Dan does a really good job here. Has to come out of the smoke a bit, maybe refine the side of Masayama's car, and then as they come down to the second outside zone, both drivers looking good, and then Dan just doesn't get the timing quite right through the transition. But Wataru, front man, looking absolutely solid all the way through, at least in the lead. So maybe the chase needs that little bit more work, but Brad Dan looked pretty good other than that one transition where he mistimed it. So I would say both drivers have some things to clean up on, but for me, this is a fairly tight battle.
Yeah, it's mistakes on either side, but some really good driving on either side as well. So just kind of where does that scale go? Which driver outdrove the other, put the car in the right places. So there's Brad Dan Burkett leading on the left. Like we said, that kind of launch got a little interesting there. Masayama chasing him down. Now you can see Masayama out front on the right, fills it, and that's what you talked about, just checking up a little bit there for Dan Burkett. But Masayama did something very similar there, going to third outside zone. So timing is everything, going from the big bank into that power alley, transitioning into the third, because again, like I was talking about, that flow, you need to time it still regardless of that flow. Yeah. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Dan Burkett or right for Masayama. And it looks like Masayama will get the victory, and it is unanimous. So joining us here this weekend is Robin Ishida, and as all season, we have seen Brian Egger and Reese Marin. So Vernon and Robbie are sharing duties.
Splitting the duties.
Splitting the duties, so 4 rounds per our international judges. And just like that, halfway through our Type S Top 16 bracket. I didn't see you at Type S Night Lights last night.
No, I was here for the Drivers Summit.
Yep.
It was a big meeting talking about the future of the sport, so it was really interesting.
It's always great to go to those town hall meetings, see what's going on, State of the Union, what's going on, because it's all about perspective. Drivers, organizations, sponsors, things, stuff. There's so much perspective there, so it's great to be there. But we had a blast last night. Type S Night Lights presented by Larry Chen.
Yeah.
Presented by, obviously, Type S and Toyota Gazoo Racing. Speaking of Gazoo Racing, Jonathan Castro in the chase position. D-Max, Derek Madison leading in that S chassis. High on the bank, Castro very low. He needs to work his way up. Madison a little squirrely down there. Squirrely Mads in that chase position. Now second and the third outside zone. Madison putting the car in the right place. Castro just a little buffering there in that chase. Just failure to launch to get into those outside zones. Now finds that spot. But again, just a little bit short in every zone there. But by comparison, Madison to Castro.
Yeah, Madison, we've got a little text chain from all the drivers where we can get updates from him. His team let me know that they did have a bit of a wreck in practice, and they had to loosen the car up a lot just to make sure that they're able to get through this. And it does. It looks great.
Yeah.
This is we talk about drivers all the time. Maybe take a bit of grip out of the car, see how it drives. But for me, Madison, they made that call. It looks really, really good. And for Jonathan Castro, nothing really bad in the chase, just a little bit further back than that really attacky way that he normally drives in the chase. So maybe knowing or talking to that team, understanding there might have been an issue, leaves that bit of a gap. But man, whatever they changed in that car, let's just keep it that way.
So Derek, you just need to crash more and it'll work out in your favor. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you kind of get it out of the way. You're like, all right, I'm good. I saw it, wasn't bad. We can rebuild it.
Yeah.
We have the technology. Boom. It's kind of like I know a lot of my freestyle moto homies, like they get a brand new dope helmet. It's painted by Troy Lee or Air Tricks, right? They drop it immediately because they know they're going to drop it eventually. Drop it.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of drop, let's drop the hammer. Jonathan Castro, the Toyota GR86 Metal Dom vehicle. Again, getting his first ever podium earlier in Orlando, and here we go. So Castro already completing that first outside zone into the power alley. Both of them exceeding a little bit in that second outside zone. Castro now, look, you can see him pushing and extending a little bit further, but you can see him, no pun intended, drifting his way back there. That allows Madison to get up close and personal. What you got a little side eye.
Yeah, D-Mads with that transition near the end was sick. Like that was, I don't want to talk, ill of Madison at all, but that was just such an incredible move that is not something he normally pulls off. But yeah, Jonathan Castro up front, a little bit lower in the bank, lots of speed. Madison has to check up as they come through here, pushes a bit wide, and then this is where Derek starts to make that dive in. Castro a bit shallow through that zone. Inside clip looks good. Right here, look at this transition for Mads.
Nice.
Right
good
in
timing.
there, right
really
into the
good
side.
timing.
Yeah, so good. So whatever they changed in that car, don't touch a thing. Maybe fix it, but just don't touch anything.
Just refine it.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of it has to do with the driver. He was shallow on the outside zone 3, going from 2 to 3. Like you said, Castro was short, so was D-Mad. So, as flowy as it is, you need to carry a lot of momentum going from 2 to 3 because it is so large.
Yeah, and the new line that they've got laid out really, really shows that off a lot. So let's take a look at our BC Racing custom coilover side by side here. Both drivers, a little bit of a gap in some spots, a couple of checkups. Yeah, second outside zone looks pretty similar to both. Third, maybe Derek a little bit deeper in the chase there. Inside clip, not too bad from either driver. Outside zone, Derek really, really closes things up there in the chase. So that's a tough battle. I'm stoked that Derek threw down like that. And for Castro, a driver that was in the grade 8 here last year, maybe keeps pushing like that.
All right, look at this. Derek Madison does get the victory, advances on. So some food for thought there for Jonathan Castro, something to chew on, maybe review the tail of the tape and what did he do well, what did he do wrong. So as we are finding out that Dmitry Brutsky has called a competition timeout. Brutsky to go against Federico Sharifo, but he has called the competition timeout. So you can see the pits right there just off course. And again, thank you to our judges. We've had the same judges, and we will through the entirety of the season. That is Brian Egger and Reese Marin. But the international judges, Vernon Zvanveld and Robin Ishida, they share duty. So each of the judges does 4 events. So Robin Ishida joined us here in Seattle and joining the likes of Reese Marin and Brian Egger. All right, we are hearing that Brutsky is out, so he is competition timeout has progressed, so he'll work on his vehicle, get it back up and running tomorrow. But there you see the names: Reese Marin, Brian Egger, Robin Ishida, There are spotters right in front of us, and we're up there in the glass box of motion, left side of your screen. Judges are right in the center. Wave to them. There you go, Robbie. We see a high five, high 10. And there are judges. Looks like RCP.
Robbie.
Oh, look at this. Nope, we don't let you out. We don't let you out till you judge. You judge good, okay, Robbie? Looking like the JDM Abraham Lincoln down there. He looks good. 4 years ago. Here we go. Rico Sharifo, the Italian lover. There was a fan earlier signed his shirt, old school Triple Crown shirt. He had some Ferrari C-Scat Puma and Betty signed it, so pretty sick. So a very iconic vehicle, the Pennzoil Fiorella. It's got a nickname like Madonna, a Prince. So Fiorella, the vehicle, and the building.
All the different iterations of it, from twin supercharged to tons of nitrous to turbo. It's gone through so many different power plants.
I just think he needs to get that flux capacitor. I think that would really just. I think that's the secret sauce.
I think, yeah. At this point, I mean, maybe he'll be the first hybrid car that we have here in FD.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he's checking off all the boxes.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try
I mean,
it.
Ferrari,
Let's go for it.
you know, Ferrari. It's why not?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Okay,
Yep,
moving on. All right, so we are now 3/4 of the way through our Type S Top 16. Like I said, a beautiful day here. So Type S Nightlights, man. Thank you to Griot's Garage. Thank you, of course, to Larry Chen, Type S, ST Suspensions, and Toyota Gazoo Racing, North America. Brought out some cars. Dude, it was packed. It was bonkers.
Like
Adam LZ did a burnout around the roundabout. The Griot's was like, yeah, dude, light it up. He lit it up, and it was his comp car. Like, he just handled that thing like it was a rental. He paid extra for the insurance and drove it like it was a Chrysler Pacifica or a stow-and-go minivan. All right, so there are our 6 of the 8 of the top 16 advancing on. Next up, Sorensen and Stuckey, and Rudy Hansen and Ben Hobson. Beautiful day here. Bit of a heat wave going on in Southern California right now.
That's right here,
95 right now, and a little bit wet on the East Coast. I know Brian Egger, he's coming from Richmond, Virginia. So it's rainy there, but right now we're the envy of the country. So right now, Ben Hobson, he swapped out his tank top for the race suit. He was up here with James Dean, his teammate, and he was just chilling, man. He was vibing. And Ben Hobson said back in Georgia he had to mow the lawns. Now he's about to mow down Rudy Hansen, or is he? Can Ben Hobson step up here in his sophomore season? Rudy Hansen, we know he's very capable. Him and his lovely lady, definitely talented, and would love to see it coming together. You can see that winning percentage, 28%. Ben Hobson, we know he's very capable of being a pro spec champion, making the jump to pro, getting behind the wheel of definitely a highly coveted seat, the RTR Ford Mustang. But you got to drive that thing like James Dean, like Von Gittin Jr. No holds barred, no holding back. And Ben Hobson always got a smile on his face, but it'd be even bigger if he got on the box. Here we go. First step, you got to get the victory here. Again, this is seeded brackets. Who's advancing on, but we know both of them are in the show tomorrow. Rudy Hansen initiates across the nose of that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Rudy Hansen, good angle from him. Ben Hobson settled. You can see them coming on in, the flapping of the carbon, the fiberglass, and the urethane. Now into that power alley. Here goes Hansen. Ben Hobson dives in on the inside, way shallow. The car grips up, shoots on into that inside clip. Now into this last outside zone. Rudy puts it right there. Ben Hobson does find the sweet spot eventually, but maybe too little too late as the car gripped on the transition across the Power Boulevard. Like I said, what was an alley is now a freeway, because we went from 2 lanes to 4 lanes.
Yeah, that extra width has made all the difference in so many of these battles already. But let's take a look here. Rudy Hansen, not a ton of angle coming to that bank, really trying to just run away as much as possible from the RTR. Ben transitioning really early after the second outside zone, but does a great job to kind of make up for it, as Rudy taking a fair bit of time coming through 3 through that inside clip, and Ben back on the side of the door through our last outside zone. So yeah, I mean, Rudy, he's just trying to outrun that Mustang. It is such a fast car, but for Ben, this transition right here, that is where it got really rough for him. But he does do a great job of making up for it, kind of missing out on that entire zone, but is able to utilize that cutting point to be able to get back into the chase and get to the door of Rudy Hansen on our 4th and final zone. So, you know, it's a bold strategy, as they say. We'll see how it works out for him as we swap things back around. And now Ben Hobson out front. Is Rudy going to be able to keep up?
What I like about this is something that's a topic of conversation. We'll get to that in a moment. All right, here we go. All right, here goes Ben Hobson out front. Whoa, Rudy Hansen needs to join, slide to those DMs or slide to the side of the Mustang. And the side of the Spec 5 FD is what it needs to do. Ben Hobson, look at that, with the clean air. The turbo fans go around into this third outside zone. There he is. Oh, and even then, like I said, that is big, man. It's you know, you're burning a lot of tire there. That wheel speed, the car grips up. So this is what they wanted, and again, I think it flows a lot better, but that transition from 2 to 3 is coming up just a little bit short for some of these drivers.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, it could be, we are seeing a bit of a temp drop. We are going to be seeing the track change a lot here as the temperatures change throughout the day. I don't know if maybe that has something to do with it, but yeah, for Ben Hobson, just putting on the jets to that first outside zone, and that is what I thought he was going to do. His cars are very, very quick going around the bank. And really for Rudy, just trying to fight to get back in the battle, but for Ben, just not able to push the car all the way out to outside zone 3. And is that going to bite him in the judge's eyes when they can start to compare these runs head to head? Because Rudy then is able to make up that ground the same way they did before. So, yeah, both drivers.
Yeah. This is what I was going to talk about right before they went into the battle. 32. I would love to see, you know, like Monster Jam, you go to the show, you see Zombie, you see, you know, your favorite monster trucks without saying anybody. Could this be a potentially format where you have it locked and loaded, just qualifying dictates where you land? Here we have 32 vehicles, 16 already pre-seated, 16 going to seating brackets, and now cars are braking.
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting here is, like, you're asking for this. Do we just go down to 16? These are all topics conversation you heard about in that in the town hall meeting.
Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting. I think really it's a war of attrition this far in the season as well.
It's a great point.
It's tough. These vehicles are braking a lot. We had what, 2, maybe possibly 3 engines and a transmission all go out in practice.
Yeah, Shanahan, Connors broke right now.
There's a lot going on, and it's tough. It's just very tough at this point of year. And you go 5 rounds, then you show up here where you're at full throttle for what, 10 seconds, which that's a full quarter-mile drag race right there, right? if you think about it, and then they have to keep going. So wild.
Just keep swimming. Rudy Hansen, Ben Hobson, slide him left, slide him right. One more time. They are going at it again across the board. Step Papadopoulos. I don't know if he agrees with that or not, but we will see. How are you wearing a sweatshirt, Steph? All right, you look like he's trained. Look like Rocky.
Was he running the steps?
Yeah, Little Rocky.
Little Rocky.
That's what we call him, Little Rocky.
That is what we call
his name.
Yeah.
Little Rocky, Steph Papadopoulos. All right, moving on to our next battle. So we'll see them one more time, the OMT, and another guy we did not expect to be here. Once in the top 5, Sorensen, and going against Daniel Stuckey.
Yeah.
So Daniel Stuckey, and now Brandon Sorensen sitting in 11.
Well, with the way that the point setting is now, you know, with the 10 points per, it's you know, it kind of knocks you down pretty quick, and having 2 rough rounds, that's what's going to happen. So consistency is so massive in this series. You have to be, you know, top 16, top 8, every single one, just to be even in the points consideration. So for Brandon Sorensen, this is do or die for him, and for Stuckey, who's really starting to come to form as the season has progressed. You know, all the momentum in the world against a driver that's struggled the last 2 rounds.
And I know you're always a fan of Stuckey's vehicle, keeping it lightweight. And here we go, Sorensen out front, that United States Air Force BMW. We know how talented this driver is, and he's going to try and throw a dominant run down out here with that clean air. Stuckey not a factor at all. It's just an all Brandon Sorensen show out front. Fills that second outside zone. Good transition, man. Probably one of the smoothest and cleanest going to that third outside zone. Pass that inside clip, dials in on the last one. That allows Stuckey to get to the side of him, and Brandon full pull across the finish line for the high-flying Brandon Sorensen.
Yeah, it was interesting watching Brandon Sorensen through that first outside zone, because the car looks kind of soft. Just every time he's pulling the handbrake.
Soft.
Well, every time he's pulling the handbrake, you can really watch it squat down when he's getting back at the throttle. It's kind of telegraphing a lot of what it does, but look at him just pulling freight train on Daniel Stuckey throughout that entire first outside zone. For Stuckey, what I do like is that he's not really cutting through the entire course. He's still trying to get through those zones. He's trying to make up ground wherever he can, and then still finishes the run really strong. Brandon Sorensen's car, though, it is very, very fast.
Well, you talk about you know, a soft but maybe a looser setup. We talked about Derek Madison, you know, and here we are looking at our seating brackets. You know, and again, some drivers, you know, didn't really do well in St. Louis. That's why they're here. We talk about Brandon Sorensen. We're talking about Odie Bakshis, right? The looser setup might favor that, especially the float. the float going from outside zone 2 to 3, that softer setup could really favor the drivers here, and I'm sure all the drivers that are already pre-seated are taking note of that, and obviously all the technicians.
Yeah, a lot of them sitting up in the stands right now watching, and you know, they are definitely taking notes.
Competition as well as car setup. Daniel Stuckey out front, Brandon Sorensen tip to tail, dropping in with Justin Smash on the drone, and there it goes. Brandon Sorensen not even giving him an inch, and Stuckey, you can see right there some wavering from him, but Brandon Sorensen keeping it pinned on the door of Stuckey. Where is Sorensen? Boom, jumps out of the closet like a magic show. Catches an early flight home from Seattle into that inside clip, now transitioning into that last outside zone. So Stuckey places it. Brandon not as deep, but Stuckey flirting with that wall, and you fight the wall, and the wall always wins. And I'll tell you what, that wall here in Seattle, it has claimed some victims. Just talking about the cars, obviously, and we walked away, but it is unforgiving.
Yeah, Stuckey gets that initiation done, gets the car as close to the wall as he wants, but not a ton of angle throughout that first outside zone. But Brandon, as Stuckey's coming down off the bank, trying to just throw a bit more angle to get pushed up there. Brandon does a good job of adapting all the way through. Stuckey, good job through the second and third outside zone, but the whole time, Sorensen all over the side of him throughout the vast majority of this run. Outside of the first outside zone, though, Stuckey's got a really, really solid line all the way through that run. It's just not able to get the car up onto the bank early and hold it there. Just a tough go through that section, something they'll have to work on and go back and take notes, but the rest of the run for Stuckey looked really good.
Let's see, Sorensen or Stuckey, and Brandon Sorensen gets the victory unanimously. Also, the fans tuning in, tell your friends we are live around the world. Fans are saying that Odi Bakshis will win the seeding bracket. Again, here he finds himself in seeding bracket, and he'd love to be dominant. 3, 6, 9, 12 points richer. When we come back, we'll be seeing the one more time battle of Hansen and Hobson, your defense lawyers, when we come back here at Formula Drift Throwdown.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
Here we go, Andy Haley. Oh, he is riding that tire right on that white line.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. New brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. Look like fun? It is. You in?
You need parts? We got parts. Need it fast? We got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Love that car, baby.
I'd like a Cantina Chicken Bowl, please, and the Tropical Punch Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Pull ahead to the pickup window and try not to leave a trail this time. drifting, Freddie. Enjoy your Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Thank you.
We are back here at Evergreen Speedway, and we are waiting to see what's going on. So, bet to win. Look at that. I mean,
yeah,
that's
some
easy money, dude.
Interesting stuff there. There's a few that I know.
What?
Yeah. Huh?
I mean, why? Yo, I quit. I'm just gonna go gamble. Again, you go to look at that. So yeah, Dylan Hughes. I mean, this is home track. You know, the PNW boys. There's a lot of people pulling for Dylan Hughes in the building. I know Travis Reeder doesn't compete in Formula Drift, but I'm sure I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him here. He's got to be around now.
Yeah. Reeder just shows up.
Do you remember the classic Dylan Hughes line of "Why don't you come down here and give this a try?" when he was talking to the judges?
Yeah.
That was one of the mic drop moments.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is, hey, congratulations, Reese Marin, the first ever current standing judge winning an event while being a judge. So, yeah, try that, bro.
I think he's got more on the go, too.
There we go. All right, here we go. The one more time battle between Hansen and Hobson. Rudy Hansen out front, the Team Hansen S chassis. It looks like we got a restart cone hit. All right, so there it is, a restart. Dude, put $20 on Dylan Hughes, you can win $460. So if you're in the building, bro.
Yeah.
If you're in the building, put $20 down, and you're buying dinner.
See what happens.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bet around and find out. It's a nicer way of saying that, right?
Yeah, it's a good way.
It's better than what the kids say. You potty mouth, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap.
We got a 5 coming up here. That's interesting.
No, really? Comp
Looks that way.
timeout?
It's looking that way.
Oh boy, look at this! All hands on Hobson's deck.
Well, they're going to be driving back. The question will be when do they get hands on the car? But yeah, they got to call it. So he's heading back to the pits.
All right. So Hobson, sun's out, guns out. Earlier he had the guns out because he had a tank top on, but now it looks like he's tucking in and taking shelter. All right. Right now we got a competition timeout. So let's take it from Turk, as we take a moment with Ryan Turk, our defending winner here from Seattle.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, and we're going to kick it back to some Network A days and some awesome memories on this Take It From Turk. Back in, I forget what year it was, when I was a lot younger, I had a very amazing time bringing Matt Powers and Michael Essa up to do some drifting at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the episode called Live Free or Die, Drifting in New Hampshire. And we just did a bunch of just amazing summertime fun stuff. Drifting on these super fast access roads at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Getting ice cream at our favorite spot, driving up to Livermore Falls to go swimming at this really popular swim spot off the sketchy rocks where you land in between rocks, but we're all young, so it didn't matter. Really risky, but a lot of fun. And that brings back just a lot of amazing memories because we spent a lot of time at Livermore Falls and drifting in general in New Hampshire. Donuts in the driveway, eating ice cream. I mean, you can't beat it. So take it from Turk. Don't forget to have some fun this summer because it's going to end soon. What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, and we're going to take it back for Talking with Turk. Talking with Turk? Take it from Turk. Take it for Turk. Take it from Turk.
Turkey time. Turk time. Turk, whatever. Take it from Turk. Speaking of Turk, take it from Turk that he can win here. So Ryan Turk won here last year. Haroya Manoa got second, and Adam LZ rounded out the podium here in Seattle. It was, again, I love this event. This is my, I've said it and I'll say it again, number 2 favorite track. The people, the vibe, the weather, the track overall. You really got to bring all of your weapons here to this gunfight because, like you said, I love that analogy. Quarter-mile drag strip, throw that thing sideways. Now with the Power Boulevard, tighten and tighten and tighten, and the funnel just narrows all the way to that unforgiving wall. So you really got to bring it here. Just some of the best fans, wildly educated, great scene here. Evergreen Drift. So 2 minutes on the clock, and they're still pointing fingers. do you think happened?
You saw the hands go out. Like, I don't know what's going on. So it's interesting. I wonder if Ben maybe heard something in the car and was like, we got to take a look at this. Something slapping around. Tough to say. They've just got the jack stand on. Take a look at the back end. So that would be my guess. But there is your competition timeout rules. One competition timeout for seating. 5 minutes max. Repairs only. No setup or tire work. There are a couple of case scenarios where that could come in, but if that does, we'll let you know. And it looks like he's good to go.
And you said one per seating, and then Control-Alt-Delete, reset, another competition timeout for tomorrow. So Ben Hobson, don't know exactly what was wrong. We'll find out. It was misfiring, so we're finding out. So, yeah, some spark plugs, some timing. Don't know exactly what went down with Hobson.
Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, but they deemed it good enough to go back out there.
2.3 gigawatts, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Rudy Hansen, Ben Hobson, back to the start line. And so that burnout box of how much rubber has been laid down. The weather here, previous 2 days, a little bit of rain. Tuesday, Wednesday, from what I understand. My local weatherman, Randy Johnson, and Ryland telling me that some rain, and now got the forecast, some great weather. And the judges gave us some keys to victory. So this is what we're looking at.
Yeah, so get back on throttle immediately after initiation. A lot of drivers opting to just clutch kick or weight transfer to get it over. Yep, no, they really don't even want a handbrake through there. Consistently fill all the zones. Decel after you transition, not before. That is something they've been harping on all season. So once that car starts going the other direction, then you can start to slow down. It's changed a lot, changed some driving styles, changed some car setup things as well. But to me, it makes it a lot more predictable through those transitions, allows drivers to get back into the pocket a lot easier.
Here we go, Rudy Hansen out front, Hobson in the chase position. Those hot pockets just get Hobson, major mistake there, falls out of drift. Hansen continues on. That's not what you want to see from Hobson. He continues on, but that's going to, and Hansen maxes out the angle going into that third outside zone. If Hobson was there, that would have definitely gotten his way, but not part of the equation, finishing out the run. So mistakes on either side.
So interesting you bring that up, because it's a big conversation that's been going on, is if a driver makes a mistake, but the chase driver is not impacted by it, how does that affect what's going on? Because
I still think there's a deficit.
Yeah, there's still going to be a deficit with that mistake, but a lot of drivers would traditionally go like, oh, look at what he did, that should be incomplete or whatever, and some of the rulings have changed, so we'll bring that back in. But yeah, for Hobson, I'm not sure, maybe that misfire coming back to on him, and he gets through the rest of the run. And for Rudy, tons of angle, really decels through there. Like, is having that decel happen before the transition. So not what the drivers wanted. Now, if Ben was right there with him and Ben made contact with him, that could be ruled towards Rudy, or towards Rudy causing the fault in that case, because Ben was right there. But because Ben was so far back, although Rudy did make a massive mistake, it didn't have as much impact. So Rudy got a little bit lucky on that one. Either way, not what you want to do.
Right. Let's see. Adam Jabebe is tuning in right now.
I always like hearing from Adam Jabebe.
That's all you got.
I love the guy, man. It's always good. It's always good when he tunes in, gets some texts. He's always saying how much he loves the battles in the stream. He's just a big
just being Midwest guy. Whittling away. Speaking of whittling away, let's see Ben Hobson whittle on his wall. Gonna go down to the whittle wall. Here we go, Hobson. Now he throws down for his town. That left foot brake. Look at that front right. Looks like he's chalking that thing up, ready to hard park that thing into the second outside zone, into the power alley, into the third outside zone. Goes Hobson. Is this too little, too late? Because Hansen is definitely involved. Could be closer, but both these guys leaving some, I wouldn't say a window of opportunity, more like a garage door of opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to play into how bad was that mistake on the chase there. Yeah, because it was pretty bad, but he was able to get through the rest of the run without incident after that. Ben Hobson got all the way up to the bank, but that big left foot brake, as we see there, and for Rudy, just trying to get back into the battle. Left foot brake, anything he can do just to get that car at angle, back him towards the wall, and trying to pick up some proximity, but Ben still struggling to get that third outside zone. Inside clip, not too bad. Outside zone 4 looks solid. Yeah, for Ben, really just You don't know what kind of mechanical demons he's fighting right now. They've had that timeout. They took a look at a few different things with the car. So I'm interested to understand exactly what the problems are. I might have to pry some information out of him a bit later on. But for Ben, I don't know, as you said, if that's going to be enough to be able to take home the win here against Rudy. But I could understand, you know, if it, there are some scenarios where it could go the other way as well.
Okay, moving on along. Who is going to be the last driver in the Grade 8? Rudy Hansen gets the win. Hobson knocked out. So Hobson, him and his team are going to work on the vehicle, try to get it dialed. And you can see in the background there, birthday boy Jonathan Hurst and Steven Olsen in the burnout box.
Ex-teammates, I mean, rode together for a long time. They hang out quite a lot. I got the opportunity years ago to go to Norway with both of them, and yeah, there's definitely a very competitive but maybe friendly rivalry between the two of them. I think once it gets down to battle, that the friendliness disappears, though.
Yeah, definitely goes out the window.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
just all opponents. At that
look,
point.
if we're going into battle, like you're a friend, but if we're going to battle, screw you,
gone.
Dude.
Yeah,
You're out,
just
dead
go.
to me. Oops. Jacob getting out of here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Simon Olsen, Jonathan Hurst, the battle. Two friends, no way. Gloves are off. Bare knuckle fight. Going to that first outside zone. Look at Simon Olsen, brother. Slingshotting. That car is on rails. Holy cow. Oh, but he overcooked. Burnt the meatloaf. Meatloaf. What is Norwegian meatloaf doing out here? Wow, into that inside clip. Simon was dialed, though. From a distance, that was...
Look good.
That looks really good. And Jonathan Hurst just was slowly creeping out like Homer into the weeds.
Yeah, Hurst, I'm not sure the car started to over-rotate partway through in the chase and then wasn't able to make up the rest of the pace there. But yeah, for Simon Olsen, on throttle immediately. Like almost no correction there on that initiation. And Hurst just either gets lost in the smoke or something goes on. But for Simon, right there, that car just doesn't want to grip up.
Get back.
And now 3 wheels off is our incomplete. I don't know if Simon ended up going 3 wheels off. If he can get that transition done, though, from 1 to 2 without shooting off course like that, man, he is going to be an incredibly difficult driver to beat. Yeah, that was wild. A lot of it's just that initiation. He's on throttle all the way through it. So that was pretty nuts. I mean, considering equal power, 2 very, very different chassis.
Yeah.
The XLR for Jonathan Hurst and then the Super for Simon. Really interesting. They haven't gone battle. I went even double-check these stats because I swore they'd gone head-to-head before, but I guess not.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hurst out front, Mr. Cool, keeping it cool. Simon Olsen had those mistakes, so all right, let's get it tight right, fellas. Come on, who's moving on to the final 4 here in our seating brackets? There goes the Cadillac out front, XLR, and Simon, look at just chomping at the bit, ready to get after it. There goes the Mr. Cool Cadillac, second outside zone. I feel like maybe Simon didn't have a reference looking in the rearview mirror earlier, but now, yeah, Hurst grinding. Woo! Simon, it is loud right now. Dude, 4th of July was just a bit ago, but the fireworks absolutely firing off into that last outside zone.
Yeah, great run there from Simon and for Jonathan to be able to clean things up after that big mistake on the first outside zone. So shouts out to him for that. So Jonathan a little bit lower on the bank, and for Simon just holding that car back. You can tell he really wants to get onto it. He wants to get that grip in, wants to push the pace, but knows if he does it there, it could mean disaster for the rest of the zone. Good transition, gets that car back though. Would have liked to see Simon a little bit deeper in that zone. Hurst looks good. That's where we get our door tap. Then we get into our transition, and that is where both drivers sinking it into that last outside zone. And Hurst taking a bit more of a midline to the end of it, but Simon played it smart. I think he really wanted to go a lot harder than he actually did. You can almost feel him holding that car back for the entire thing. A bit of tension in his driving where he almost just wanted to completely clean through the door of Jonathan Hurst. But smart driving from Olsen, and Hurst giving his head a bit of a shake after that mistake, throws down a solid lead run.
Real quick, you wear the blue beanie. This dude leveled up with a blue helmet,
Dang.
and then Homegirl's got blue hair.
It's a blue place, man. Look, you got blue everywhere. It's very on theme.
Here we go. Simon Olsen, slide him left, slide him right. And there goes Simon Olsen. Gets the victory and advances on. A great lead run. Did have some mistakes, but if he can hook that thing in, get his claws in it, going from outside zone 1 into the power alley, like you said, he is definitely going to be a threat for competition. But regardless, he's a threat right now in seeding brackets, and he's 3 points richer, advancing on into the final 4. making his way back to the pits. We'll see Jonathan Hurst tomorrow. You can see him in that slot right there at the end. And here we go, Arturo Masayama. New photo, new headshot. Welcome back, Masayama, getting the keys to that Ninjuku Racing, Jerry Yang Racing 3M GT Radial 86. That's what it is. Odi Bakshi's in the field suspension S chassis, Ineos oil. What are you doing down here, Odi? Everybody's pulling for you right now online. They're saying Odi's going to win this whole thing, but Masayama's got nothing to lose. Shows up, new ride, new look, new driver. Masayama, everything to gain. Odi Bakshi's, he's definitely got a lot to lose. He wants to get back in the conversation for championship and finish up out on top. There you go, Masayama, good initiation, locked and loaded. That car, look at how settled that is, pulling away from Odi. That is very uncharacteristic. Odi, one of the best chasers in the business. And that second outside zone transition cuts through that smoke. Now into that inside clip, both of them running over the box. Perfect. Oh, we got a little tire fire right back right. That thing will usually extinguish, and yes, it does. So, again, the tire debris building up and catching fire.
Yeah, the Jerry Yang special, man. I mean, I don't know what it is they're doing with the cars, but both, I mean, anytime these cars are running, both love to light up that tire.
And Forsberg notoriously as well.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, a lot of tire fires, man, but Masayama, so solid considering the limited running he's had in this car, limited practice, everything else. He is incredibly comfortable with this entire package. And for, Odi, I think a little bit shook off that first outside zone, but does an amazing job of getting back into the chase. There it is, that tire fire sparking up nice and early as Odi makes that dive into the final outside zone. Man, this was a battle I was kind of hoping would line up because I was really interested to see how Masayama was able to step up given the situation for Odi, what he was going to do and how he was going to adapt in the chase there. So for Wataru, I mean, even when they swap these things around, what's this going to end up looking like? But yeah, this is wild to see how quickly Masayama has adapted to the power plant, the chassis, and the stress and pressure of having to come back and prove himself.
Well, he is no holds barred right now. Odi Bakshi's out front. He's got the clean air. But this is where the winners truly shine in the chase position. Masayama, like I said, nothing to lose here. This is absolutely everything to gain and prove he deserves to be here. They gave him the keys, so why not just show up and show out? Odi Bakshi's now transition that inside clip. Masayama threatening right there on the heels of Odi Bakshi's, and fans again 60+% saying that he's going to win this seeding bracket.
I mean, there's a 40% that's definitely cheering against him, and they might be right here. This is I mean, I'm just saying, Wataru not letting Odi Bakshi's bully him around at any point in time. Odi knows how to put the jets on at any time. He knows how fast he can make that car. But for Masayama, does not let him get away. And you can tell Odi really wants to get the pace out of this all the way through the first outside zone, push it nice and wide through the second. But for Wataru, not backing down at any moment, making some correct dives, cutting a bit of zone there through outside zone 3, that makes the rest of the run look absolutely solid. Almost going a bit deeper through outside zone 4 than we saw with Odi. So this is a tough one on the judges for sure. I honestly have zero idea which way this is going to go. I mean, I'd be voting for one more time just so I can keep watching them go head to head throughout the rest of the night. Great run from both drivers.
Yeah, that was really fun. I liked both of their driving styles. Aggressive, that first outside zone, very dynamic, settled from both of them in the lead and the chase. And this, you know, I say it, but I think it's blaringly obvious. I think the chase run is really going to be the telltale sign of who is the better driver this whole weekend, today and tomorrow.
Yeah, the lead drivers really have things locked in. We're seeing that pretty consistently now. So it is going to come down to who's got that better chase. And there's three parts to that chase. You have the line, you have the angle, and the proximity. And the drivers that seem to be doing really well this season are the ones that don't necessarily give up line and angle just for proximity.
Yeah. Here we go, slide him left, slide him right. Odi Bakshi's, and I gotta say that was pretty narrow.
Yeah,
like it wasn't absolutely dominant by Odi, but I do agree Odi just had that little X factor, just a little more sauce. But I'll tell you what, Masayama got dealt a tough hand going there. Welcome back, but goes against, and looks, we got a little steam, a little fire, a little flames. What's going on here with Fetty, the Ferrari? Looks like he's pulling, he's pushing. Let's see what's going on here.
I think he's trying to get the cord off.
Yeah, Federico, get his comms off. We
okay, no big flames. That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. But let's see. Initially thought it was like nitrous spraying, but
really tough to say from here. I mean, a bit of a flashback to Long Beach a few years ago.
That was
rough. But rebuilt, and oh man, he always animated Federico.
You can see under the hood of that mean Ferrari. It's off, and looks like still smoking a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like coming from maybe an oil feed line for the one turbo. Yeah, that would be my guess off the bat, but tough to say. So many components going on. You know, V12, turbo. There's just a lot of things happening under the hood of that car.
Yeah, it's a piece of art for sure. Definitely a unique vehicle, one of one. Literally no other Ferrari like this drift machine in the world. Yeah, like you said, animated.
Yes, very animated.
A little chest pat there. And called the timeout earlier. So 2 drivers already in the Final Four. We got Odie Bakshi's. He'll be going against Simon Olsen. Again, another, you talk about former teammates, Simon and Odie. And I'll tell you, Simon getting the knowledge, the driving prowess, maybe the car setup, took a lot of knowledge working with Odie, because I feel like jumping back behind the wheel of his Mach 5 Supra, maybe change the setup, and it's really working out. I think that Simon is definitely a different driver after working with Odie Bakshi's.
Yeah, it's been a big change, and I think what he's learned and what he's been able to get in confidence has led him to where he's at now, where he's making some big strides in that chassis.
All right, so bringing in one of our judges, he speaks on the judge's behalf and his perspective. Reese Marin down there. Reese, down to you, man. Welcome, good to see you.
Hey, what's going on?
Beautiful, beautiful Seattle. Again, Reese, congratulations. You're the first ever standing judge to win an event, first and foremost.
No, that's cool. We're good. We don't have to mention that no more.
No, I'm going to bring it up every round.
Oh, God, it's horrible.
Reese, the winner, Marin. What's up, bud?
All right, so we're going through this battle here. We definitely want you to pay close to the outside zone 2. There was pointed out from Masayama. We do think that Odie did a better lead overall here. We can see here going into outside zone 2, Masayama comes in a little bit shallow there, but the really thing that sticks out for us for Masayama is at the end of outside zone 4, you see a very shallow attempt, almost a straight. You can see here, and straightens up. So that being said, we saw Odie had a way better lead. Masayama had some errors in his lead. We ended up going with Odie for the win on that.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Appreciate the insight.
Thanks for the shout out.
There it is.
I can't hear you. I haven't won an event, so I don't speak winner. All right, so yeah, what happened? Fetty just need to cut some weight. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah,
I know the homie Grant Gutierrez is watching. Grizzly Goots, he's in the building, and he's watching. He's tuning in. And now we're. Do we know what happened with Fetty?
I have no idea. I've been hoping someone would text me something.
Slide in those DMs, baby. Not DM Derek Madison, but I'm talking about DMs, the conversation.
Yeah.
Federico Sharifo pulling up to the line. Who's moving on into the Final Four? D-Mads will lead. We talked about his car floating, a little looser setup. We'll see if that favors him here out front. Fiorella, the Ferrari at S Chassis, pulling away from Fetty, taking him to Gapplebee's for dinner right now. It's TGI Fridays. Man, all of a sudden, again, Hot Pockets, we're talking about food here. Obviously hungry. Madison, where are you going? Got the wrong directions. Goes 2 tires off. That will be a deficit, but not an incomplete. Out front now, navigating that last outside zone. Real on-off switch with the throttle. You can hear just the echoing of the motor and then back on the throttle. So we need that consistency and that flow from both vehicles, and D-Mat's kind of, like I said, off and on, a little herky-jerky.
Yeah, not terrible, but you can definitely hear it, you can feel it, you can see it with Derek Madison with the smoke trail. So first outside zone, really pushing it, not all the way out to the wall. He does a pretty good job there, but that correction partway through is what ends up pushing him wide. And for Federico, getting through this run, but just not keeping that proximity. Does a decent job through most of these zones, but really we still need him in the fight. It's one thing to not give up all your line, but you still need to be at least within, you know, fighting distance of the car in front of you. But for Derek Madison, other than shooting off wide, coming off a 1, I mean, not a bad run for a car that's hurt and not set up the way he originally intended it to be. But I mean, maybe the setup he ends up keeping for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like that. Just jarred something loose, and that works out. So
yeah, they said the wreck really messed up the front knuckles, potentially the rear knuckles as well. He said just kind of like things are clicking and moving around, but yeah, take a little bit out of the car.
Looking to keep on ticking. Federico Sharifo out front. Derek Madison chasing him down through the start chicane. Let's see Fetty's approach here. Transitions in, a little slow roll into it. It allows Derek Madison good proximity. He is lower. We need him to massage and get a little higher, but Fetty, you can see kind of just coming out of it, just a little touch here and there. And there, Fetty shuts it down. So, it just didn't seem 100%. I think both you and I were like a little cringy right there as far as initiation. You saw him kind of off and on, shuts it down. So D-Mads with the little customary thumbs up.
Yeah,
he knows he got the victory there and handed it to him, Federico Sharifo.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what all happened with Fede, but I might touch base on a little bit later on, trying to understand what happened, and maybe down on power, maybe bigger things, maybe smaller things, who knows, but either way, not able to get through that run.
Are we singing Blink songs, all the small things?
Good start.
A little.
I mean, usually we save karaoke to the end of the year, but
yeah. What's your go-to karaoke song?
It's changed. I've been working on some stuff. What are
you dropping an album? What are you talking about?
Just just trying to, I gotta show up for the party at the end of the year. I can't.
The Evanescence. Just tell him.
He could be. Yeah, wake me up. Yeah.
Before you go?
No.
That's George Michael. That's
now
Wham.
I'm confused.
What? I'm George Nienda? Here we go. Our final battle of a Type S Grade 8. Brandon Sorensen and Rudy Hansen. It's the battle of the Sens. Sorensen and Hansen.
Every once in a while we get these tongue twisters in, so we'll see how this one goes.
Oh, dude.
This one's a good one?
Dude, Kazuya Taguchi versus Kenshiro Gushi. That will go down in folklore. I know Sage is, I'm just within earshot of Ryan Sage. That was legendary.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Go ahead, fire off. Kazuya Taguchi versus Kenshiro Gushi.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I mean, it might happen. Kazuya's not drifting anymore. But Wataru Masayama versus Kenshiro Gushi.
That's
Federico Sharifo.
Yeah.
Kenshiro Gushi.
Cameron Sorensen, Connor Shanahan, Brandon Sorensen, Jack Shanahan.
The Shansan.
Yeah, that one gets me.
Oh, I thought you said Sandstorm.
No.
Oh, my bad.
The Shanstorm?
The Shanstorm.
Yeah.
Brandon Sorensen, Rudy Hansen, having fun here on a Friday. Thanks for tuning in. We are live around the world here in our round of 8. Brandon high-flying Brandon Sorensen. Coming in that United States Air Force. Yo, Zero Chill Sorensen. He says, shut up, Jared. I'm going to stick this bumper to the wall. Keep my bumper and shut up. Here we go with that. Oh, buddy. Hansen makes an attack. Almost getting inside that BMW. This. Talk about sparring. Rudy Hansen now comes back into that last outside zone. What a lead run from Brandon Sorensen.
This is a textbook
I saw a little.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
that
fun
was a
driving
good run.
like this. Yeah, it may not be textbook. It may not be exactly what the judges are looking for, but you don't need to know a lot about drifting to look at this and go, that was a fun run. So Brandon Sorensen right into the wall right off the bat. For Rudy Hansen, now he's got to fight back. He's really got to pick up the pace. We already know how fast Brandon is. Rudy takes that spot there to be able to start to dive in. And then through this transition, now he starts to strike one more time. But Brandon has got this car dialed. The confidence he's got to be able to huck the car into the wall like that, fills all the zones. For Brandon Sorensen, back on form, at least through this battle. And I really, really hope he can keep that going all weekend, because just another driver that's waking up right now and showing that he's a little pissed off and wants to prove a point.
Wake me up before you go. Some more George Michael for your diet.
Yeah.
Said, just waking up.
How many song references can we get in a day?
Oh,
I know.
Don't even.
That's a lot.
Don't even.
Don't start.
Yeah. Believing. Here we go. Rudy Hansen, Brandon Sorensen will be on the second half of this battle. One more driver to join the final 4. We already got Simon Olsen, Odie Bakshis, D-Mads, and which Sen is it going to be? Rudy Hansen or Brandon Sorensen? Hansen out front. He's been looking good out front with that clean air. Let's see if he can show up. Brandon just blood is in the water, dude. The piranha is out right now. Look at this. Oh, he backs down a little bit. It's like got a little side eye there from Rudy Hansen, a side smirk with that front bumper in the second outside zone. Brandon was so dominant up front, and he goes in hard. That was a hard hit, and bounces back. So this is, you know, play silly games. Unfortunately, win some banged up prizes.
That's the tough part with driving that aggressive, is when you're on the line, if you cross it at any point, it is not going to end well. And thankfully, Brandon Sorensen able to drive that car off track. Same with Rudy. I mean, there was a fair bit of contact through that run. So once we get things back into our replay, how did this end up happening? So Rudy, I mean, a little bit low on the bank, but does pick up a ton of speed here. I think it kind of threw Brandon for a second, not realizing how much speed Rudy can pull out of that car. Second outside zone, but Rudy looks really good. And then through this transition, Rudy touches the wall.
Rudy touches, but Brandon went in. I think it was perfect storm, and you saw the bumper just snap Brandon's car into the side of it.
Yeah, so is it one of those scenarios where
independent?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, two independent incidents that kind of happen in the same spot. So Rudy goes in, Brandon goes in, and then comes back around. Now, was Rudy able? Would he have been able to finish that run if he wouldn't be hit? I'm not sure.
Is Rudy impeding on Brandon first of all?
So you're allowed to decel there. Should be back on throttle, and it doesn't look like he is. But Brandon also, regardless of Rudy being on throttle or not, Brandon's going into that wall. So I think Brandon just really wanted to gain that proximity. So there's Rudy. See some throttle pickup. I think in two independents, you nailed that one. That's me, though.
I don't think Rudy was impeding in Brandon. I think Brandon was too aggressive. So Rudy went in, hit that wall. I think he could have come out of it. Walk us through here. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, although
momentum.
This map doesn't actually have the momentum changes on it, but you are allowed to make a bit of a momentum change after the second outside zone into the third, but it's supposed to be after transition, and then you need to be back on throttle and pushing through the rest of the courses. Our workers there taking a look at what is going on. So we got Joe and Michael. Michael, most recent guest on the outer zone. Great conversation with him. Yeah, the fridge, the mayor.
Keeps it cool, dude.
Yeah, good convo. Some good tips too if you want to get involved with FD. Spills a couple of secrets.
He does? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so great episode. But taking a look at the wall, making sure that everything is still in place.
All right, you can see how that tire debris just accumulates. That's why we need to sweep up, clean up. We got Tyler down there. Lewis, is that Luis? No, is that? All right, so got some photographers, some media. Thank you so much for all the hardworking staff, making sure track is up to snuff, clearing it out. We're good to go, but Brandon Sorensen, yeah. So they're going to work on that car, and whoever advances on going to get hands on it to go against D-Mads in the Final Four. A lot of the drivers up here watching, tuning in and seeing what's going on. Notably, we got, a hunt for the championship. 3 rounds left, including this round. After this, we got Utah. We have not Irwindale, but we got Long Beach. LB2, baby. The Shoreline Showdown. Tickets available now. Act now. October 17th, 18th. Slide into Long Beach.
So judges, one more replay they're looking for. So Rudy, independent in, gets on that. Yeah.
Bang, bang.
I mean, that's how I'm seeing it. If the judges don't agree, I would love to get an explanation, but we'll see what they end up saying here as they take a couple more looks at this replay to really understand what's going on. Brandon is just coming in with a bunch of speed. He's trying to decel. He gets back on throttle to try and dig that car back out, but to me, it looks like he was always going into that wall. Whether if he was in the lead, he would still be going into that wall with the amount of paces in there. So, yeah, it's really tough to say. But Rudy and Brandon definitely made contact after that hit, but it comes down to like why. I don't think Rudy could continue because of the hit right there.
Brandon's car snapped so hard, though. Like, it's like that bash bar in the back grabbed it, and it said nope, and that's why the front end so quickly, that front right just clapped into Rudy.
Yeah, and what the judges maybe want to understand is did something happen that caused Brandon to go into the wall, create that incident? That's more or less what they're going to be looking at this point. Either way, Brandon Rudy touches the wall a little bit. Looks like he's continuing on down the path. Brandon comes in, definitely touches the wall, comes around, hits the side of Rudy in the rear wheel. Rudy then pushed way offline, not able to continue. So that's how I see it, but maybe the judges go, okay, Brandon came in hot, but Rudy was not back on throttle at that point, or wasn't where he was supposed to be, or decelled in the wrong area, and that is why Brandon had to do what he had to do. That could be another thing that they're looking at, but we'll get an answer from them here shortly and be able to understand a little bit more as to what goes on in the brains of our skilled judges.
Esteemed judges, yeah. Judges, different backgrounds, from drivers, former drivers, active judges, organizers. So, all right, here we go. Brandon Sorensen, Rudy Hansen. So Sorensen gets the victory. Brandon Sorensen gets the victory, and he will advance on against Derek Madison. So as our Final Four is set, looks like Reese would love some insight here. It looked like Rudy tapped and Brandon whipped in. Reese, down to you.
So what we see in this battle here, we see going into outside zone 2. We'll see it here. Outside zone 2, we're going to focus on, outside zone 3. See Rudy comes in, we see the transition come in, the way we're seeing it. Rudy comes in, enters the lane, leads the chase driver into the wall, doesn't get back on throttle like we would want him to do. It seems like he gets him back on throttle after the hit. Due to that, we're going to give Brandon the win here. Now you can see here, outside zone 2, we go into outside zone 3. The line of trajectory takes him in, deep, hits, and then the car that follows him afterwards is Brandon. So we feel that he was led into that, and that's why we put the blame on Rudy. And we also see that he didn't light off a little bit late in outside zone 3 that we didn't like.
Seemed like Rudy filled all of it, but he stayed in there. He entered where you should have entered, but it was more of a beeline.
It's more so leading the chase where he wasn't supposed to be. We see a hit first by Rudy hit, and then the domino effect is Brandon afterwards.
But also perfect storm. Don't you think that the way Brandon's car reacted, it was a little more emulsified. It seemed more violent.
Right.
It looked like the car whipped in.
Yeah, because he's the chase driver. He's trying to get into the pocket. Okay. He's trying to be aggressive. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. Well, there you go. Brandon Sorensen gets the victory. We'll see if he can get his car back up and running. I think this is a good trial run for them to see if something happens tomorrow on game day, if he doesn't advance on. You're 3 points lesser, but you still want to move on. Speaking of moving on, Simon Olsen, Odie Bakshi's former team members, from last year, but now, all right, Simon Olsen out front. Look at this, pulling away, and this is what I'm talking, dude. Simon's car is just so different from when he drove it previously from joining Odie Bakshi's, and now look at, boom, puts it right in there. Second and third outside zone into that front clip. Now navigating in that final clip, Odie Bakshi's knows what's expected, has to back up. So look at this. This is, again, a completely different Simon Olsen vehicle, driver, everything from what he drove as Mark V previous to jumping on Odie's team and now jumping back behind it. Car is completely different.
Yeah, these drivers tied 3-3 in battle wins against each other. So there's a lot on the line here. Simon Olsen out front, a little bit of wavering to the first outside zone. Odie trying to adapt to it as we come to our second. So Simon not able to really fulfill the whole thing. Odie does a good job of adapting. Third outside zone, Simon just touching the edge of it. Inside clip looks amazing from both drivers. And then through that transition, Odie makes a dive. The timing doesn't quite work out for him, and Simon able to pull away through that. So really, for me in the lead, Simon doesn't completely fill those boxes. Okay. Gets right to the edge of it, but he's still there at the zone, just maybe not as deep as we want. But for Odie, that dive, that kind of last-ditch effort there in outside zone 4, another thing we don't normally see from him. He's very calm and collected through his driving.
Yeah, definitely still not absolutely decided there.
Right.
So it's going to come down to this run, and I'm feeling Odie's going to let it all hang out. I expect a big, nasty lead run. He has something to prove here to himself, to the fans. Again, a lot of people look at it, and there, car's settled. It looks like a photo. That was just a still photo. You can take an old-timey photo with the big powder right there. And that third outside zone, Simon Olsen doesn't get to that outside zone. Now on the inside clip, let's see outside zone 4. Simon does a better job executing that zone in the chase than Odie did, but Odie allowed him to do that. He put the car in the right places, and that's a lot of what the judges are focusing on. They said you can only have a good chase run if you have a good lead run. Here's the platform. Let me show you this as a lead driver, and I think Odie did that.
Yeah, in a way, they almost reward the lead driver for providing that opening, that opportunity for the chase driver. So Odie, as you say, so stable through that first outside zone. You would expect the pedigree of suspension knowledge he has.
Yes.
Second outside zone just absolutely nails it. Third is there. Simon, I mean, has to cut out of there to be able to catch back up with Odie, who's completely got it gripped up in the fourth outside zone. Odie does a great job of filling that zone, keeping that door nice and wide and open for Simon to be able to dive in. So great run there from Odie Bakshis, who, you know, had a couple of little things in the chase and knew he had to step up to really try to move the needle more towards his side. Simon Olsen does a really good job in the lead, but his chasing a little more aggressive, man. Just a bit more aggressive.
This is I think going to be really telling here. So Odie leading on the right, Simon leading on the left.
Yeah, we see the proximity obviously with Simon in that area, but then Odie in that chase is able to pick up a lot of it. But really for me, Odie's lead run just looks so great. Checks all the boxes, fills all the zones, does a great job throughout this entire run. That gives Simon that opportunity to get in the chase. Simon's lead run really fast. You know, he's got everything gripped up. He still looks really smooth, but I do think that maybe not getting those boxes completely filled might come back to haunt him.
So that's where I was going to say, not as smooth as Odie. You said smooth, but I would venture to say just a little clickier.
Yep.
So
that's a good way of putting it. A little more staccato.
Okay, big words.
Told you, I'm working on the music.
So as we are getting set up here for our next battle, we'll see who the victor is. And there's Matt Sopa giving the verdict there. We're waiting, but maybe elaborate on the momentum areas.
Yeah, the track has been widened pretty heavily throughout, and this is to give a more natural arc as they come off the bank. It gives the drivers some more room to navigate, so they're not coming off and having to shoot off. Remember, if you go back and watch last year, you'll see a couple of runs where drivers really just have to get back on throttle and shoot through the rest of the course. This gives it a nice, smooth arc all the way through, so you know, we go from the alley to the boulevard, as you say.
Yeah.
And I really, the difference has been night and day. It makes for such a great lead. It makes for such a great chase. And as you're looking at the track as we go throughout the weekend, you'll be able to see where those old lines were, the new yellow lines, to really give you an idea of how wide we've made a few of these sections. So, judges' decisions in.
Yeah, and this is where I was leaning. A good effort by Simon, but Odie just a lot cleaner, more sterile on that lead run. So Odie Bakshis, congratulations. Looks like Simon Olsen should be getting third place here in our seating bracket. Now let's break it down. So again, that widening of the track areas.
Yeah, the pink spots that you're seeing on track there, that is where they've widened everything out. You can see where those decels are a little bit better now to understand it with the graphic that we've got on screen now. And yeah, the drivers seem to like it. I mean, the fans seem to be liking it. I'm loving it.
It's more natural.
It is. It feels less forced. So it's just a very smooth way to get through the track.
Yeah, so there it is. And you can see the old track,
the old
course edge, the white lines. And right there, that's widened. So again, we open it up from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. It is an open thoroughfare. Again, that power alley moved to the power boulevard. So as you exit outside zone 1, it's going to have a natural flow versus tightening, getting on the brakes, checking somebody up, having those corrections. So you can float a little bit more. It's going to be natural, good flowy. But if your car grips up, as we saw, going from 2 to 3, that's where some of the drivers are having some trouble. So getting looser, getting more floaty to get to outside zone 3, and then just bring it on home past that inside clip. And again, don't look at the cone, look at the yellow box on the ground. That is the inside clip. So again, it's, I mean, shoot, probably a whole cone. So what, 3 feet from the base of the cone to the closest point of that inside clip, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then going into that last outside zone 4. All aboard, baby. We are on the Formula Drift train here, round 6 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We are throwing some coal in the engine. Not rolling coal, no diesels here. But another battle to find out who is going against Odie Bakshis in the finals.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, Derek Madison, Brandon, Brandon getting maybe a little bit lucky on that call. We'll see. Hopefully not a ton of issues with the car, and Derek Madison loosening things up after having some contact in practice, but looking really, really solid. And one of them, whoever wins this, got a big task on their hand, and Odie Bakshis, who seems to be that fan favorite.
Well, in seating brackets right now. So, all right, we are hearing that Derek Madison has called a competition timeout. So, all right, looks like I hear a train coming. It's coming around the bend. There we go. More references here. Talking music, talking time, and we are having a good time. Don't go anywhere. When we return, more Formula Drift seating bracket action here at Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington. FD Throwdown for your town. Don't go anywhere.
Visit your local discount tire and service centers for all your automotive needs. We're family owned, serving as your one-stop shop to have your vehicle running smoothly. We offer 5-star services and a price match guarantee. Plus, get 2 tires free when you purchase 2 select tires. What are you waiting for? Go online and schedule your appointment today.
You ready to rev up your career? At the University of Northwestern Ohio, our high-performance motorsports program puts you in the fast lane with a 70% hands-on education. Learning from the best in the business, you'll master the skills needed to excel in the world of motorsports. From the pits to the paddocks, UNOH students and graduates dominated all facets of racing. Turn your passion into a career at UNOH. Apply today at unoh.edu.
Is this it?
This is it!
There he is, Larry Chen. Congratulations, most recent Formula Drift Hall of Fame inductee. Where's the sriracha, dude? Where's the hot sauce? Make some noise for Larry Chen, Hall of Fame Formula Drift inductee. Okay, there's nothing on track. Don't fake it. Don't fake it, Larry. Okay. All right, there's nothing going down. You just eat your burrito. Larry Chen, love you. Thank you for all that you do. His book, Life at Shutter Speed, that's what it's called. So available on Amazon. It'll be shipping later on this year. #1 automotive book on Instagram right now. So be sure to order it. Life at Shutter Speed. 8 pounds the book weighs. So you can imagine he went through 5 million photos, whittled down to 1 point some odd. Like, again, he was just on the Throttle podcast. So definitely a busy man. So appreciate you and your team and all that you do. Just had that 7-Eleven Hot Wheels meet. So definitely a busy man. So appreciate what he does.
Yeah, total inspiration. One of the guys that got me into media, that got me into drifting, and just super cool to now call him a colleague.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, when I was a wee lad, I was malnourished, and he breastfed me to health.
Wow. Just all the rumors.
I'm joking. Larry's a great guy, and again, we're all joking. But here we are. What's that?
Friday. I said, Fridays.
Oh, Fridays, dude. Just here we are. One more battle to find out who is in the finals. Derek Madison and Brandon Sorensen. Odie Bakshis to go against one of them. Odie waits in the wings, and interestingly enough, D-Mat's called the comp timeout.
Oh, interesting.
Not Brandon Sorensen.
Yeah, no, they're fine. The car's good.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Fragile, insecure, neurotic.
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
There you go.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is.
Yeah. Whatever.
For I never even knew what you're talking about.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine. Just fine.
Everything's fine. Do not see D-Mads, but I do see Stooky's garden.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to play some cornhole there later. I'm going to smoke you, dude.
Yeah, you know what? You have a body for cornhole. You were built for cornhole.
Thanks? Question mark?
Well, it's like we always joke that Jonathan Hurst has a bowler's body.
I do not have. I embody that statement. I mean, wait, no, hold on. I resemble that statement. No. What's it? I can't think of it.
But I agree. Yes, you could probably destroy me in cornhole.
I can't remember who it was, but at Utah last year, me and I think it was Nate Hamilton dominated everybody.
Yeah.
We ran the boards for like hours. Yeah, we got the kettle corn, brother. Throwing out the hang loose, brother. Nice. You. How are the waves in down in the down? Oh, we're throwing hearts, bro. We're throwing hearts. Heart gang, gang.
There you go. Man, I love how busy
young lady's got just
Fridays.
one big T-shirt, and she's got sunglasses like a windshield. Look at her. Like, look at that thing. Holy cow. Those are called problem hiders. You know, after a long, hard night. Oh, look at my man right here.
Yeah, and then the Rizzler
Is it
was
boom
here.
or doom? Holy cow, look at this guy. Look at my man just steps in front of him. Look at the bootleg Patrick Mahomes. Go back to work, dude. Shouldn't you be at training camp?
Jesus.
Look at this guy. Holy
He's
cow.
still going.
You tripping if you ain't tipping. Dig deep, fellas. My man right here spinning the corn.
Oh, man. We're going to take a break.
Yeah. I'm tired watching you, young man. Whew. This guy just chilling. I don't even know what hand sign that was. My dude right there with the big beard. I don't know, just like a what's up thing, like the claw. Did he do the claw? And this person's raising the roof. They're doing hand cycling. Look like pedal cycles. Oh, look at young lady right here. Focusing on left. She's
got the dance going
on.
Oh, yeah.
Cover girl. Oh, Vogue. She's voguing right now. Oh, boy. Oh, snap. Look at this pink little number. Ensemble. Wow.
Waiting
Bang,
for this
bang.
moment.
Ooh, she's got ears. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Get it. Go. Make some noise for her. Look at. She keeps her going. You wind her. Oh, you'll off her? What?
Camp.
Dude. Come on. You got moves like that. You got to keep it going.
Didn't make it.
Got the throat chop from, is that D-Mads? He's out? He's gone, unfortunately. Derek Madison is out, but we will see him tomorrow. So for all the St. Lunatics out there cheering him on, D-Mads will be in the show. So Brandon Sorensen against Odie Bakshis, a bye run. Young man from Lost Wages. Brandon Sorensen.
Text in, broken axle for D-Mads. There's Brandon taking that extra practice run. See how aggressive he gets just in a bye run. Him against Odie it's going to be wild. I mean, very, very technical Odie Bakshis versus an incredibly wild Brandon Sorensen. So, yeah, that's going to be quite the battle coming up here for our finals in seeding. Getting everything sorted and ready to go and lined up. He's using parts of the track that I don't even think we've rented out. Brandon going all the way through.
Yep. All right. Chill, bro. Hey, I got a message from Edgar from the Drift Appalachia team. He says, chill, bro. It's disrespectful calling me I have a cornhole body. I don't think that's how the John Mayer song goes. Your body is a cornhole body. You know, like, I don't think that's how it goes.
Oh, no? Okay.
No.
I must have got that wrong.
What? All right, let's go under the hood with the 702, the Sorensen. not single, not duo. There's actually a trio because Cameron Sorensen, Brandon Sorensen, Amanda Sorensen. Brandon's in pro, and the other 2 family members are in pro spec. Let's go into the hood with the Sorensen family. Great to see here at her United States Air Force BMW. Make some noise for Amanda Sorensen. United States Air Force BMW from Las Vegas, high flying Brandon Sorensen. Brandon Sorensen, he's giving it back to him. And Sorensen leveling up.
Amanda and Brandon are so close in age, they're 18 months apart. Randy's the one their dad got them into motorsports racing, and they both were really timid at first. I think the coolest thing about the 2 of them is that they've always had each other for testing the waters, for backup. When they didn't know what was going on, they at least had a buddy out there to do it with them. And they both equally sucked in the beginning, and they both have developed their skills along the way by pushing each other.
Being a parent and raising the kids in the motorsport industry is something that's really like, I wouldn't change it. It has taught them so much. It's like, you know, any other thing, you get out of it what you put into it.
So I think it was around that 12 or 13 age for both of them. They knew that they were good, and so they weren't afraid to push the limits. They're both very competitive, and there's been times that Amanda will win and times when Brandon will win, and at the end of the day, they know that it's like nobody's gonna get pissed off.
I'm very proud of them. Each one of them's got their characteristics. So, but yeah, this is our lifestyle.
Can you believe this?
Brandon and I actually started like in BMX, which is crazy. That's where like the competitive atmosphere came from. But Brandon was a star there, not me.
If you look at like that picture right there, that says 2008 on it, so I was 4 years old. So after that, you know, we're like, let's do something new. A buddy of ours had an LS E46 drift car, and that's basically just where it all started.
Sorensen, he wants it.
I'm just a very curious person, so I like to try and figure out and make my own things.
These are all of his drawings here, so like first version, second version, third, fourth, fifth. But once he designs them, like this is his 3D part that he prints. He makes sure the printer will actually print it out and like do it properly. And then he tells the other computer, the big one that actually has like a block of aluminum in there, then the block of aluminum will do the same thing the 3D printer did and like cut it out properly.
Whether or not this is going to really give us that big of a competitive edge, I'm not sure, but I'd like to have my own legacy and my own pieces that I've produced myself.
There she is, she's back. Let's see what you got, young lady. Oh yeah, there she goes. Look at her cook. Oh man, there you go. Oh, bang, dang, poop. Oh, skirt. What? Shut up. What? Yeah, skirt. Oh yeah. Oh, we got Conehead boy. He's got them Hot Wheels. Oh, he's got dinosaur phones on. What? Dang, we got the cat, the dinosaur, the Hot Wheels legends right there. And our Type S finals are here. Brandon Sorensen, Odie Bakshi's 20-year age difference. Odie could practically be his dad. And here they are doing battle. All right. DJ Science tuning in. Got a sweet package. Thank you so much to my boy DJ Science from up in Vancouver. Hopefully gonna see you tomorrow. But look at the battles here. Odie 5-2, so it's no pushover. Look at the winning percentage. Odie Bosch is 72%, and you know the fans said 60%, saying he's gonna win, but Brandon would love to put a stop to that. Again, advancement. So with every win, so again, if you won in 16-8, so 16-3, 8-3, so 3, 6, 9, 12. Do the math. it could be a deciding factor.
Yeah, an interesting point was brought up yesterday in that big town hall of Odie saying, like, I'm tied with Matt Field. If I win in this, I'm going to go into top 32 with you, already ahead in points. So, interesting how this plays out.
Strategery.
Yes, strategery for sure.
Brandon Sorensen will lead. Odie Bakshi's giving chase. That's an SNL reference, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Okay. All right. You're looking at me like, here we go. Brandon Sorensen unites it there for his BMW. Sticks it to the wall. Odie Bakshi's down a little bit, but you can see now he works his way up. Compromises as far as proximity, but gets high on the bank into that second outside zone. Looks like Odie might have exceeded just a little bit, but he has great proximity there. Brandon really hanging out on the wall for quite a bit, extraneously, and now dialing it in, coming on back. Yo, I'm liking the flow of this track.
Yeah.
I'm really liking the expansion of that bubble going into the power alley, into outside zone 3. That's pushed out. We massaged this thing properly.
Yeah, and it gives you exactly what we see in this battle. It's such a good example of why everything came together to do this. Look at Brandon Sorensen, so stable up on the bank. Odie now starts to make his move in. Brandon does an amazing job through the second outside zone. Odie has to tuck back in, third outside zone. Brandon holds that for what feels like forever. Inside clip looks great. Now Odie back on throttle, finding that grip through the fourth outside zone. Brandon just absolutely hanging loose, very stylish all the way through that run. And for Odie, he's battling through this. This is not an easy one for him. Makes that dive maybe not quite at the right time, but makes it look so good and able to get back into it. And then through this transition, same thing, Odie timing things quite well. Brandon giving him every single opportunity available. Get into the side of the door of Sorensen. I mean, if he could, he'd be banging the door the whole time. Like, let's go, let's go.
Give it the beans, as they say. Here we go, Odie Bakshi's Brandon Sorensen. Let's see what he got. Who's going to get the win? And like you said, some claims being made. He can be tied with Field if he gets this overall victory. Slide to that first outside zone. There goes Odie Bakshi's brains. Look at the cars, just absolutely rock solid. Well done. Little left foot break there from Odie Bakshi's, but look at the attitude of the cars. Just flat. No attitude, no disruption in this third outside zone. That's where Brandon got in trouble with Hansen earlier. That's how he got the advancement. Passing inside clip into this last outside zone. Odie and Sorensen. Do we have a winner? What do you guys think online or watching here in the building? Hey, stomp your feet real quick, Seattle. Stomp your feet. Make some noise. Get loud. There we go. Oh, there it is. There's the earthquake. Feeling the swell. It's only going to get louder tomorrow.
Odie Bakshi's right off the bat, up to the wall. Brandon Sorensen doesn't let him go anywhere. Look at how he's got it tucked in. Does such an amazing job of mirroring what is going on with Odie Bakshi's all the way through that first outside zone. Brandon Sorensen has that touch more angle, gets the car lined up to transition to the third zone. And Brandon fills that zone in the chase behind Odie, and that may end up being one of the big difference makers in this battle, is that Brandon was able to continue to fill every zone behind Odie Bakshi's all the way through. That is something the judges are looking for, is for the drivers to be able to do that. Now, it's tough to say, though, because this is a very, very close battle all the way through, but these small little things are what end up adding up and what provides the opportunity for a driver to win a battle. So, BC Racing custom coilover side by side. Who's going to take this home? So close in the chase for both drivers. Brandon pulls a bit of a gap here. See how things go in the second outside zone. Comes off the bank. Brandon goes almost too deep through that section. Does a really good job through there. The third outside zone. Oh man, this is tough. This is really, really tough. One of those days where I'm very happy not to be a judge.
It is an unenviable job, but I'm here to support them. They look at really the nuances of just these little things. So yeah, it's really an unenviable job, but Reese Marin wanted to let me know that he did have a competition where he didn't qualify. So just want to let everybody know, Reese Marin, even though he got a win, he does have failures too. He's not perfect, so by any means. But it looks like we do have a winner here in our seeding bracket, so bring him on down. All thriller, no filler. And again, tomorrow is game day, round 6 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Sorensen and Bakshi's in the finals. And it looks like, again, who was that in third? Simon Olsen. Simon Olsen gets third place. Let's see who gets the win here in seeding brackets. Who's, again, 3 points over the competitor.
Yeah, this is huge for so many different things. So, man, what a great battle, though. If this is any preview of what we're going to be seeing tomorrow, I'm ready.
Yeah, I think the track flow, the judges, Kevin Wells and all the track people, so they definitely did a great job. I can't read what that says. I'll give you
$5 for Odie to win. I mean, we're getting bribery.
I'm not giving any money, bro.
No.
Just relax. All right, here we go. So bringing them on down. Okay. We do have a unanimous winner here as they all jump out in their weapons of mass destruction, talking about tires. And just want to make sure we got it all. So make some noise for our finishing drivers. Finishing third place, Mr. Simon Olsen. Simon Olsen getting third place. And now jumping outside of their vehicles, congratulations. Again, our seating bracket finishers, Odie Bakshis and Brandon Sorensen. And the winner, round 6 seating brackets overall here as they congratulate each other, high fives and handshakes. Winner of seating brackets unanimously is Brandon Sorensen gets the win. Brandon Sorensen gets the victory after a wall tap earlier with Hansen, and now he fights on to see another day and 3 points richer over Odie Bakshis. Congratulations, Brandon Sorensen, Odie Bakshis in second, and Simon Olsen in third. Mr. Gettens, I think this track is going to deliver. We have the makings of a great event, high fives all around. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a taste. This is just the preview, the first course of what we're going to be seeing tomorrow when we get into our full top 32. I'm incredibly excited. This is only going to get better from here, and that is a massive thing to say after the battles we just saw.
Thank you so much, Jacob Gettens. Cerise Taylor will be joining us. Randy Johnson's in the building, so that's always exciting. Some great fans here, some of the best. Again, my second favorite, Atlanta, #1. Sorry, kids, but Turk, Olsen, a good battle. James Dean, Ken Gucci, if he get his car together. Adam LZ, Austin Mata. Austin could really disrupt. Where's Freddie at? Freddie going against Stuckey.
Yeah, there's some really good
Forsberg
battles.
and Hurst.
Shanahan and Madison is going to be interesting.
Shanahan and Madison. All right, some amazing battles. It goes down tomorrow. Round 6 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Again, on behalf of joining us tomorrow, Cerise Taylor. Lorette Nichols not with us this weekend, so we brought in Cerise. Thank you, Jacob. See you tomorrow. Thank you to our judges, Robin Ishida. Thank you to Brian Eggert. Thank you to Chris Yule. Thank you to Ryan Sage. No thank you to Pat Gentili as he's in the building because he's not doing anything, just hanging out. But thank you to all of our staff. And thank you for the fans. Formula Drift, the throwdown, the battle in Seattle continues tomorrow. Game day, round 6. We'll see you at high noon. But the stakes are high here in Seattle.